All right, so we should be live, and welcome to another one of these sessions that I mix live on YouTube in Studio One. Go ahead and just leave me something in the chat here. Let me know that y'all can hear me okay. We're going to be doing a song called Bits and Pieces from an artist named Laia, singer-songwriter here in Nashville. The track was produced by KadencePAT, who's one of the co-hosts on my podcast, the Faders Up podcast. And so I did a poll to see what plugins y'all wanted to see me use. It was between Waves, Softube, and Studio One stock plugins. And I think we had like 50% say Studio One plugins, and then it was split 25% between Waves and Softube. So I think what I'll try to do is use a mixture between the three of them. Maybe more so Softube, just because I don't think I've really shown off a lot of Softube plugins in my mixes. I think in the previous one I did use a lot of Waves, but obviously since what everybody voted for, we'll be using Studio One plugins as well. But yeah, just drop something in the chat just to make sure that y'all can hear me and everything is working here. And if everybody can hear me, we'll go ahead and get started here in a second. Move this over to this other screen here. Okay. Shrink this a little. All right, that should be good. Buck, what's up? Okay, cool. Well, as you know already, this will be available for replay when I'm done with it. I just want to make sure y'all can hear before we get started. Okay, so switch over. Let's get on over into Studio One. I could be louder. Okay, just a second here. Okay, Brenda, how's that? Is that better? Turned up the gain some here. All right, sounds good. Okay, so first, I've already done, may need to do a little more, but we'll check gain staging here. Let's bring this mixer down a little bit. And okay, so I've stripped everything off of here, and we're just gonna play this through, and I'm just gonna check some levels so we can do some gain staging. I like to get anywhere between like -12 and -10 before I start mixing and adding plugins. But here is the song from the top. KadencePAT.
Sometimes you love me, then you don't. You stay, then you won't. Then you're gone, and I'm holding on, trying to see exactly what you want. One moment you're in, then you're out. What happened? Sure, then you have your doubts. Promise, and you always let me down. Now you think this, it's okay. You're never serious. You only play back and forth, then repeat. This ain't a way to love, and it's hurting. Guess we'll never know where we could go. We're never really defined. This thing between you and I only get the pieces of you. bits and pieces. I only get the pieces of you. Bits and pieces. Never forever, always short-lived, only consistent with just giving me a bit, serving small doses of your love to keep me stuck, starving without enough. Keep me at arm's length, never hold me close. Feels like a robbery. You take my love and you go. Pain is a pleasure I return to. Hustle away my heart, and I am the one to lose. Not ready for me. You just ain't tried to make it work, but I can't. I've been a puppet. You control my strings, giving you all I got, and I don't get anything. Yeah. Guess we'll never know where we could go. We're never really defined. It's in between you and I only get the pieces of you. Bits and pieces. I only get the pieces of you. Guess we'll never where we could go. We're never really defined. This thing between you and I only get the pieces of you. Bits and pieces. I only get the pieces of you. Bits and pieces. I get the bits and pieces of you. Bits and pieces of you. I get the pieces of you.
Okay, so I hear we definitely need to do some. I hear some compression in the vocals that need to be done. I'm good with where the levels are. I'm going to start with the drums as usual, but I'm going to start with the console shaper here and just try to get a color here that I like for this, which just by using this is probably going to be the tube or the custom, because those are a little on the brighter side, and pop songs tend to be brighter. This classic is a little darker, and I know that's not going to want, so it's probably going to be between these two. But I'm going to play this back, and let's try to find a color here that I feel is going to fit good with this.
KadencePAT.
Sometimes you love me, then you don't. You stay, then you won't. Then you're gone, and I'm holding on, trying to see exactly what you want. One moment you're in, then you're out. What happened? Sure, then you have your doubts. Promising you always let me down. Now you think this, it's okay. You're never serious. You only play back and forth, then repeat. This ain't no way to love, and it's hurting me. Guess we'll never know where we could go. We're never really defined. This thing between you and I only get the pieces of you. Bits and pieces. I only get the pieces of you. Bits and pieces. Never forever, always short-lived, only consistent.
Okay, so custom is definitely brighter, and I think that's probably what I'm going to go for. It sounds a little more in your face too, where the tube is just sounding softer. I could go with either one, but I feel like custom is giving me a closer sound to what I'm going for in the end already, just making me feel like I'm gonna really need to do less work here. So we're gonna stick with the custom here, and let me check my buses here. So I think I've already set them up, but just this hook, I want to make sure that's all going to a bus. Background vocals, here it is. Okay, and I've got one extra vent here on the lead vocal that's down here. Let's make sure these two, okay, yeah, lead vocals, here we go. So that's set up to a bus. Okay, not have a drum bus. So I'm gonna set up some VCAs real quick just so I can easily solo and mute whole groups of tracks. So all these orange should be the drums. So we'll just add a VCA for that. Drums. Let's see. Oh, like these are drums too. Oh, they got it. Okay, drums. So here to here should be the music. And everything else should be the vocals. Okay, so with these VCA set up now, I can just easily mute the drums, mute the music, mute the vocals, which we're going to leave the drums on for now since we're going to start with the drums. So I think let's start with the drums with some PreSonus plugins. There's something about this kick that I'm not liking. Let's take a listen here. Okay, I'm gonna listen to it in the drums here. Okay, so yeah, there's something about that kick I'm not liking. So I'm gonna attempt to change the tone of it here, which I'm gonna pull out some mid-range and see if that gives me what I want. Let's see. Let's do the tube EQ. Let's see, 200. Let's try 300 hertz, and let's pull out some of that and see how we can change the tone of this here. It's going to be between 500 and 700 hertz. I'm going to listen to this with the rest of the drums and see which one fits better to me. Okay, then we're gonna go with the, what was that, 500. So basically we've cut all the way out of 500 hertz, and you can hear the difference that it made here in this kick. This is with it and without it. Okay, let's move to just the clap. Let's take a listen here. I'm gonna play that with the kick. Okay, let's try to fatten that up. Let's grab the fat channel again here. Let's see. Let's do the API and let's boost some 400 hertz. Add some low mids and some lows here. See if we can fatten this up some. Okay, that might be it. Let's see. Shango, you said use the C2C on drum bus. Which one do you use? Oh, you say custom. Yeah, that custom is supposed to be like a hybrid between, I forgot what consoles they said. I want to say, I can't remember which ones, but it's supposed to be a hybrid one. But yeah, that custom definitely sounds good, especially on this track for me. I can't recall when I've put it on and it's just really made things sound forward like that, like it did on this, but definitely sounded best on here, in my opinion. Let's take this EQ in and out and see what we did to the snare here. Okay, I'm good with that. Let's listen to it in the mix. All right, next track, let's get these, what is this, snaps. All right, we may could leave that untouched. I'm going to put everything else in and just hear how that's sounding.
KadencePAT.
Okay, yeah, we're not going to do any, well, let me see if there's any low end in there. It shouldn't be, but I'm going to add a touch of reverb on it because it's sounding a little too dry to me. But let's want to check the low end here. All right, so go ahead and filter out some of that low end I'm seeing there on that. Let's see, reverb. Let's do, using PreSonus plugins here. Let's go ahead and grab the room reverb. And let's dial this in real quick. Okay, that should be good. I'm going to just bring down the send on that just a little bit. I don't want the reverb to be too obvious, but just put those in a little space here. Okay, that's good to me. Let's move to, what do we have next? 808. Let's take a listen to this. Okay, we could definitely fatten this up some. And I already have an idea of what I want to go to, which I've got a preset here that I've created for kick drums, which is the passive EQ. Just boosting a little at 60 Hz can make a really big low end. So let's give that a listen. Okay, definitely adding some presence there with it. What I'm going to do now is do some sidechain compression. So I'm going to, let's see, I'm trying to think, do I want to do this with the fat channel or just the compressor? Let's see. I could, Comp 160 may work well. I'm just going to use the compressor. So let's pull up Studio One compressor. I'm going to sidechain this to the kick, so when the kick hits, it's going to duck this bass a little bit, and just to make sure we still got the punch of the kick as long as when that bass hits. So let's see. Let's go down to maybe a 6 millisecond attack, maybe a 200 millisecond release. Let's do a 4:1 ratio. And so great feature with Studio One is the reverse sidechain feature here. We just select sidechain, select the kick, and my routing is done. So let's listen to this now and dial this in. Okay, I'm good with that. So basically what that compressor is doing, whenever the kick drum hits, you can see the gain reduction is happening when the kick drum hits. So when the kick drum hits, it's going to compress and bring down the bass just a little bit. Let's see, next track. What is this? I don't think we really need to touch this. I'm going to check the low end on it. If there's really anything going on under 100 Hertz, I'm going to probably want to roll it off. Let's see what's going on. All right, maybe not 100 Hertz, but let's take out Let's listen to this. Okay, so here is where I wish Studio One had a resonant filter, high pass filter, so which it doesn't. So I'm not going to use this here. Let's see. Trying to think of anything in Softube or Waves has a resonant filter. Let's try the Waves F6. No, I don't think that does. I think HEQ does though. So a resonant high pass filter. So a high pass filter just rolls off like this, but a resonant filter adds a bump that you can see here before it rolls off. So this is going to give me a bump in that low frequency right before it rolls off. Let's go through these different modes and just see if I can find one that works here for me, or one that's more pronounced. Is that UK Modern? Might have to go with this first one. Let's see, digital. No. Okay, we'll stick with US Vintage here. And we're at 50. Let's hit 30 hertz. Let's bring that up to about 50. Okay, let's listen to this. Okay, so it's just a good way to get a little extra bump in the bottom before you roll things off. Hi-hat, let's see here. Okay, so that's sounding a little too bright to me. We might roll off some top, but let me listen to it in the mix first though. Okay, it's not bothering me in the mix being bright like that. I am going to pan it just a little bit to the left to get it out of the center here. Let's see, drum break. That's at the end. Let's see what we got here. Okay, so we do have different 808s here, so we'll address that when we get to it. I'm going to leave that drum break there and that 808 there for right now. This is, I think it was the cymbals.
KadencePAT.
Okay, not going to have to do much to this, but let's check the low end on it. It's already nice and bright for that type of sound. Let's see. Okay, and it doesn't have any low end in it, so I think we will leave that. I'm going to pan that as well. Let's move that a little bit to the right. And okay, we're now into the music. What is this? Oh no, I think these are still, no, this is music. This is, looks like a reverse cymbal. Okay, I'm going to switch. That really should be in the drums. Switch that to drums. And let's see where that color is. Is that here? Yeah. Okay. Okay, I think that can stand to be just a little brighter, so I'm going to let's do about 6K. Give this about a 3 dB boost here. All right, let's listen to that. Okay, I'm good with that. I'm trying to find that crash because I hear it, but I don't think I got to it yet, and it should have been in the drums. Is this the crash? Yeah, okay, so let's move that up here and put that with the rest of the drums and switch that VCA to drums. Okay, all right, let's take a listen to that. Okay, I'm good with that. I might come back and add a little high end to that, but I'm okay with where that is right now. Melodies. This is the main sound going through the track. Let's take a listen to this. I believe this is what's panning left and right. Okay, so this is when it hits that second note, it drops a little bit in volume, and I want to keep it up forward like the beginning of it is. So we're going to add some compression to this. I'm just trying to think, what do I want to use? Let me take a quick look at the Pro EQ and see what's going on in these frequencies here. Okay, yeah, we definitely need to add a little bit of presence here to keep it forward when everything else comes in, because I don't want this sound to get lost in the mix or even sound a little buried. Do not want that. So, I'm kind of thinking a good channel strip would do good here. Let's see. Let's go waves and grab I'm trying to think, I want to use the Omni or the Mix Hub. I don't think I've used Omni. Let's grab that. Actually, let's do Mix Hub. Okay, so we're going to add some presence. Let's take care of this compression first. The desk compressor should be fine for this. Let's do, and I don't want to do a bunch of compression. Let's do like a 3-to-1 ratio. And maybe a 200 millisecond release. And we'll leave the attack where it is. Switch this to gain reduction. Let's see what we got. Okay, so that's a lot better. So listen, I'm going to bypass it and just listen how as this melody is changing notes, how some of the notes are just softer than the other ones. This is without it. And with it. Okay, gonna add, let's see, some high mids here. I just want this to be a little more present, especially when those drums come in. Let's go, okay, it's already set to 3K. Let's do 3 dB at 3K, and let's just make this kind of wide here. All right, let's take a listen to that. Okay, good with that. Lastly, let's I'm gonna play with this extra wide button here. I don't usually use this in stereo. Let's mess with that. But I'm gonna use this line here to add some saturation to it, and which you really don't have to go far with this. I'm just gonna we'll go back to 0, and I'll just turn this up and add some saturation to this. Okay, I'm good with that. So let's play with this extra wide here and see what this is going to do for it. That sounds kind of weird. I like the width that it's giving it, but I don't know, it's starting to sound a little phasey. We can definitely keep that out. Okay, let's listen to that in the track now. Okay, just gonna balance in the kick and snare some little there. I think these all three look the same. Let's see if these are the same, because I can add this all to a bus too. Okay, so these two sound the same. These two are different. Let's take these two and put them on a bus here. And we'll move that processing over. And make sure that didn't go stereo. Or stay stereo. Yeah, stereo. Okay. Next track. See if there's anything different we want to do with this. I'm probably going to pull over the same processing and just tweak it from there, because this is different. Let's see. Yeah, we're going to tweak this compressor here. For this one, let's do the fast attack, so we can hit that transient a little quicker and come down to like 120 on the release. Let's hear that. Okay, I'm good with that. Let's see what we got going on in the intro.
KadencePAT.
All right, let's again pull over the same processing and let's tweak that from there. Let's see.
KadencePAT. KadencePAT.
Okay, that works for me. Let's see what we got. What is this?
KadencePAT.
I'm good with that. I like the way the kick drum is really hitting too, and I really didn't have to do anything to it, but just we cut out some mids in it there. Let's move to the vocals here. Let's see. Let's unmute the vocals now. And if y'all have any questions on anything I'm doing, or yeah, any questions, just drop them in the chat, and I'll get to it. I didn't hear much that I really felt needed to be done with the vocal. But let's take a deeper listen to it here. I think I did want to add a little high end to it, and I definitely hear some parts where compression is certainly needed. But I'm gonna solo. Well, let's listen to it just in the mix here, and then I'm gonna solo the vocal, and let's just take a deeper listen to it and try to figure out what needs to be done.
Sometimes you love me, then you don't. You stay, then you won't. Then you're gone, and I'm holding on, trying to see exactly what you want. One moment you're in, then you're out. What happened? Sure, then you have your doubts. Promising you always let me down. Now you think it's okay. You're never serious. You only play back and forth, then repeat. This ain't no way to love, and it's hurting. Sometimes you love me, then you don't. You stay, then you won't. Then you're gone, and I'm holding on, trying to see exactly what you want. One moment you're in, then you're out. What happened? Sure, then you have your doubts. Promising you always let me down. Now you think it's okay. You're never serious. You only play back and forth, then repeat. This ain't no way to love, and it's hurting.
Okay, so I hear a few S's sticking out. I don't know. I might not have to add any high end. The high end is really there. Now, I feel like bringing out some of the high end will bring out the S. Well, I know it'll bring out the S's more, but we may put some air in it just to hear what that's going to sound like. And before I get too far in this, actually about the time I start to add some bus compression as well. So I want to definitely do that before I get to the vocals. Bus compressor. Let's see. Since Waves has updated the Ssl compressor recently with a new look, which looks a whole lot better than it did. It just looked outdated. Let's try that. The only thing which really stops me from using this is that there's no high pass filter on it. But we'll see how this is gonna sound. If it's not, I will certainly move to something else. Let's do a 30 millisecond attack, 2-to-1 ratio. Okay, let's take a listen here. All right, Brenda, be safe, and thanks for sticking around as long as you did.
KadencePAT.
Sometimes you love me, then you don't. You stay, then you won't. Then you're gone, and I'm holding on, trying to see exactly what you want. One moment you're in, then you're out. What happened? Sure, then you have your doubts. Promise, and you always let me down. Now you think it's okay. You're never serious. You only play back and forth, then repeat. This ain't no way to love, and it's hurting.
I guess all the background vocals didn't get added. I'm just listening for a glue there when I'm adding the bus compression. When I bypass the bus compressor, I want to hear the mix kind of swell up and get louder. That's how I can tell just how well it's squeezing it. And I was waiting for that hook to come in, and it didn't. Why did these not unmute? They're all set to vocals. That's weird. Okay, let's just do that. All right, let's listen to that hook with the bus compressor.
It's hurting. Guess we'll never know where we could go. We're never really defined. It's in between you and I only get the pieces of you, bits and pieces. I only get the pieces of you, bits and pieces. It's hurting. Guess we'll never know where we could go. We're never really defined. It's in between you and I.
Okay, so I am hearing the glue that I want there, so that's good. You can hear on that hook there, it's just bringing it down just a little bit and just gluing it together. So back to the vocals. Let's see. I'm trying to think, do I want to use the Ssl EQ or the little FreQ? Actually, since I said we may need to DS, let's use the little FreQ, which is brand new from Empirical Labs and Softube. It is is this 5 bands? I think it's 5 bands, parametric EQ with a de-esser built into it, which is really cool. Let's see. Let's go and run a high pass at about 80, and let's find one of those S's. And see, we'll deal with the S's first, and then I still don't really hear any frequencies I really need to pull out. And it sounds nice and warm too already. I can't remember what mic I tracked this with. I believe it was a Vanguard V4, if I'm not mistaken. What I'd probably have to do is go back to my Vanguard V4 review and see if I hear this song in it, because that would have meant that I used it on that. But let's take a listen here.
Sometimes you love me, then you don't. You stay, then you won't. Then you're gone, and I'm holding on, trying to see exactly what you want. One moment you're in, then you're out. What happened? Sure, then you have your doubts. Promise, then you always let me down. Now you think it's okay. You're never serious. You only play back and forth, then repeat. This ain't no way to love. Sometimes you love me, then you don't. You stay, then you won't. Then you're gone, and I'm holding on, trying to see exactly what you want. One moment you're in, then you're out. What happened? Sure, then you have your doubts. Promise, then you always let me down. Now you think It's okay, you're never serious. You only play back and forth, then repeat. This ain't a way to love, and it's hurting me.
Okay, I'm good with the de-esser there. Let's try to add some high end and just let's see what happens here. Let's start at 8K and we'll just do 3 dB. I'm just gonna make this a little wider here.
Sometimes you love me, then you don't. You stay, then you won't. Then you're gone, and I'm holding on, trying to see exactly what you want. One moment you're in, then you're out. What happened? Sure, then you have your doubts. Promising you always let me down. Now you think it's okay. You're never serious. You only play back and forth, then repeat. This ain't a way to love, and it's hurting me.
Okay, so I like the high end that is adding, but I also feel like I'm losing some warmth when I'm adding that high end. I'm just gonna probably set 3 dB. I'm gonna bring this down to 2 dB. So what I'm going to do, I'm gonna leave the high end, even though it's taking away some of my warmth. I'm gonna try to get that warmth back with a compressor. So let's see. Let's go. Let's do the FET from Softube because that's definitely a warm one and it's going to add some character. This is, of course, in 1176. C1LB can be a little dark to me sometimes. I definitely don't want that. And I forgot what other compressor Softube has. Oh, the Summit TLA might be a good choice too. Ooh. Let's do that because I can actually adjust how much saturation I want in that one. So yeah, let's that one Summit. Yeah. And this TLA is one of my favorite tracking compressors. Headed in a studio, I used to track it a lot. And if I see the hardware for a good price, I'll probably grab one because I love this compressor. And I think I grabbed this like the first day the Softube came out with it, and this does sound like the hardware to me. Let's see. Let's dial this in.
Sometimes you love me, then you don't. You stay, then you won't. Then you're gone, and I'm holding on, trying to see exactly what you want. One moment you're in, then you're out. What happened? Sure, then you have your doubts. Promising you always let me down. Now you think it's okay. You're never serious. You only play back and forth, then repeat. This ain't a way to love, and it's hurting me.
Okay, so one thing I forgot to mention, so when I'm listening for in the compression here, I'm going to bypass it and play it again. There's just parts where the vocal is dipping, and it's just probably likely where she's running out of breath a little bit. I just want to use the compression to bring those lower parts up so everything just sounds level. Sheila, you say, do I have a favorite vocal chain or do I create new ones for every new project? I pretty much, I say I create a new one each project. I don't use the same stuff over and over because I don't want mixing to get repetitive to me. And that's not a knock towards anyone who does use the same vocal chain over and over. It's just how I like to work. It's really why I don't do like templates and like because I just don't want to use the same thing over and over. Now I do have a uh, Waves Studio Rack that allows you to put a lot of Waves plugins in. Let me see. The Studio Rack lets you put up to 8 Waves plugins in one plugin and use it as a chain. I'll do that sometimes because I do have a vocal chain set there for singing vocals, and I have one for rap vocals that I use. But a lot of times when I'm mixing, I just grab what I feel like using at the time. Let's see. Nix, you say you tend to use a de-esser pre-compression and then 2 compressor in series. Yeah, I always de-ess before I compress. 2 compressors in series. I usually get what I want out of 1 compressor. It's rare that I use 2 compressors, but I mean, if I need to, I will. Oh, it's another de-esser after the 2nd compressor. I don't really find myself doing that, because the thing about, man, de-esser, you can easily go too far, and then the vocal starts to sound dark. And see, this de-esser in this little FreQ EQ is really good. Normally, I like the Waves Sibilant, and it's another one I'm thinking of. Oh, the Plugin Alliance SPL de-esser I like that one too. It's easy to dial in. I'm gonna play this vocal back and just listen to how some of the parts is just dipping a little bit and kind of falling under the track. So we'll use the compressor to bring that up.
Sometimes you love me, then you don't. You stay, then you won't. Then you're gone, and I'm holding on, trying to see exactly what you want. One moment you're in, then you're out. What happened? Sure, then you have your doubts. Promising you always let me down. Now you think it's okay. You're never serious. You only play back and forth, then repeat. This ain't no way to love, and it's hurting.
Okay, I'm listening to that again. There's really not parts that's dipping on it. It's maybe because that high end boost is adding a little bit of volume to it. But I do like this very last line is starting to trail off. So definitely want that to come out. And I feel like it's reverse of what I just said about parts dipping. It's parts that's getting loud on here that's sticking out. So let's add the compressor in and see if we can take care of that. And then once I'm happy with where that is, I'm going to take this saturation knob and we'll add some saturation to thicken it up.
Sometimes you love me, then you don't. You stay, then you won't. Then you're gone, and I'm holding on, trying to see exactly what you want. One moment you're in, then you're out. What happened? Sure, then you have your doubts. Promising you always let me down. Now you think it's okay. You're never serious. You only play back and forth, then repeat. This ain't no way to love, and it's hurting. Guess.
Okay, so I'm getting like 3 dB compression there. I'm good with that. I don't want to do 6, 9, 12 dB of compression here. So what I'm just gonna automate that last phrase to make it louder. But let's dial in some saturation here first.
Sometimes you love me, then you don't. You stay, then you won't. Then you're gone, and I'm holding on, trying to see exactly what you want. One moment you're in, then you're out. What happened? Sure, then you have your doubts. Promising you always let me down. Now you think it's okay. You're never serious. You only play back and forth, then repeat. This ain't no way to love, and it's hurting.
Okay, I'm good with where that is there. So let's see. Just lost my thought of what I was about to, oh, that last phrase. I'm gonna automate instead of automating, because I still may get with the fader and automate this some. So I don't want to automate the fader because I can't move it around later because it'll be tied to that automation. So I'm just going to automate the gain on the compressor. So select that, grab it up here, bring that down, and let's see where we need to go with it.
It's hurting me. It's hurting me. It's hurting me. This ain't no way to love. It's hurting me. Guess what?
Okay, I'm good with that. Nix, you say saturation plugin rather than trim the peaks. Saturator. Yeah, I was kind of thinking about the saturation knob. I know that's a really popular one. Let's, before we move on to the hook, let's go ahead and get this going with some reverb and delay here. Let's get this vocal sounding all pretty. So let's do, for the reverb, I've already got the sends set up. Let's do the Czar from Softube, and for a delay, let's do the tube delay. Okay, so let's get the reverb dialed in first.
Sometimes you love me, then you don't. You stay, then you won't. Then you're gone, and I'm holding on, trying to see exactly what you want. One moment you're in, then you're out. What happened? Sure, then you have your doubts. Promising you always let me down. Now you think it's okay. You're never serious. You only play back and forth, then repeat. This ain't no way to. Sometimes you love me, then you don't. You stay, then you won't. Then you're gone, and I'm holding on. Sometimes you love me, then you don't. You stay, then you won't. Then you're gone, and I'm holding on, trying to see exactly what you want. One moment you're in, then you're out. What happened? Sure, then you have your doubts. Promising you always let me down. Now you think it's okay. You're never serious. You only play back and forth.
Okay, I think that's good. I don't want the reverb to be overly dramatic or really heard too much. Just really want the reverb to be felt. I feel like you can use reverb in two ways, where you can feel the reverb and where you can hear the reverb. And I don't want the reverb to necessarily be heard, but just felt. So let's move to the delay, which I might duck, but let's see.
Sometimes you love me, then you don't. You stay, then you won't. Then you're gone, and I'm holding on, trying to see exactly what you want. One moment you're in, then you're out. What happened? Sure, then you have your doubts. Promising you always let me down. Now you think sometimes you love me, then you don't. You stay, then you won't. Then you're gone, and I'm holding on, trying to see exactly what you want. One moment you're in, then you're out. would happen. Sure, then you have your doubts. Promising you always let me down. Now you think it's okay. You're never serious. You only play back and forth, then repeat. This ain't a way to love.
Okay, I'm good with that. I don't think I'm gonna have to duck it. The delay really isn't stepping on the vocals. I am going to. I do want to high pass it though, which just delay had a high pass filter on it, but that's fine. Let's do something like 300 hertz. And let's take a listen to that.
Sometimes you love me, then you don't. You stay, then you won't. Then you're gone, and I'm holding on, trying to see exactly what you want. One moment you're in, then you're out. What happened? Sure, then you have your doubts. Promising you always let me down. Now you think it's okay. You're never serious. You only play.
Okay, I'm good with that. Nick, you said that I'll add the delay as a split. I really don't use that split tool too much. I know it's there, but I don't know. I guess it's a feature that I guess I've been able to do without it. I just never really think of I never really think to use that. It would probably take a special situation for me to be like, oh yeah, I can do this way. But I'm gonna have to mess with it more because I honestly haven't really used it since it came. But that came out of what I think Studio One 4, I think. I'm going to see. I missed a track here. It's a little vocal sample. So let's jump back to this, and then we'll move on to the hook.
Then you're gone.
Okay, so I'm gonna make this mono. So I'm gonna want to pan this. Let me just make sure make sure that make sure it's not actually stereo here. Okay, yeah, let's make this mono. We're just gonna grab everything, select that to mono, and then just rebounce it. And now it's in mono. I'm going to pan this. Let's go to the left and get that out the center. Let's check the low end on that as well. Okay, let's listen to that with the vocal in here, how that's sitting in the mix.
Don't you stay, then you won't. Then you're gone, and I'm holding on, trying to see exactly what you want. One moment you're in, then you're out. What happened? Sure, then you have your doubts. Promising you always let me down. Now you think it's okay. You're never serious. You only play back and forth, then repeat. This ain't a way to love, and it's hurting me.
Okay, so I'm good with where that's sitting. What I'm gonna do though is right now it's panned a little bit to the left. Where's that track? Here we go. Bring it out to the left a little bit more, set it to 50. So what I'm gonna do when I mix, I like to move things around. So what I'm going to do is this part, we're going to leave pan to the left. Then I'm going to pan this one to the right, pan that one to the left, and then pan this one at the end to the right. So we'll do that with some automation here really quick. Let's see. So you're going to be right 50. You're back to left, and then you'll be right 50. Okay, let's take a listen to that.
Sometimes you love me, then you don't. You stay, then you won't. Then you're gone, and I'm holding on, trying to see exactly what you want. One moment you're in, then you're out. What happened? Sure, then you have your doubts. Promising you always let me down. Now you think this, it's okay. You're never serious. You only play back and forth, then repeat. This ain't no way to love, and it's hurting. Yeah.
Okay, I'm good with that, but I want it to go a little further to the right. So let's try 65.
Sometimes you love me, then you're gone, and I'm holding on, trying to see exactly what you want. One moment you're in, then you're out. What happened? Now you think this, it's okay. You're never serious. You only play back and forth, then repeat. This ain't no way to love, and it's hurting.
Okay, I'm good with that. I'm going to jump to the end because I think this is playing by itself at some point at the end, and then that's going to be weird to me if it's panned that far right. So I'm going to listen to that real quick and adjust that.
I only get the pieces of you, bits and pieces. I only get the pieces of you. We'll never pieces where we could go. We're never really defined. This thing between you and I only get the pieces of you, bits and pieces. I only get the pieces of you, bits and pieces. I get the bits and pieces of you, bits and pieces of you.
Okay, so that didn't sound as awkward to me as I thought it would. So I'm gonna leave it panned to the right there at the end. So let's knock out this. Let's knock out this hook. I'm gonna use a different delay on this, but let's take a listen to it.
Guess we'll never know where we could go. We're never really defined. This thing between you and I only get the pieces of you, bits and pieces. I only get the pieces of you, bits and pieces. Bits and pieces. Guess we'll never know where we could. Guess we'll never know where we could go. We're never really defined. This thing between you and I only get the pieces of you, bits and pieces. I only get the pieces of you,
Okay, so I think this will be a great opportunity to use the new Vocalign Ultra here. And these are pretty tight. I hear really this one is bothering me the most with like I can hear where this one is ending just a little short. And even though I can visually see this part here is clearly off, I don't hear it though, but we may use Vocalign to do that anyway. But let's take care of the. I'm trying to think if I want to do that first, or just move into processing it. Let's go ahead and do that. So let's do. We'll see if it'll pull this back, which it should. I guess we'll use this top one as the dub here. I forgot my Vocalign. Forgot my Vocalign key command. Let's remove. Where's add? Oh, Shift V. Okay. Okay, so we will use that one for the capture, and which one was this one? Let's see, let's go with a all right, and capture. It says slightly loose, but we'll scoop that up to make it a little tighter. All right, let's take a. Well, I didn't hear it before already, so I'm gonna go ahead and well, let's listen to it. Let's listen to what it did. See if I can hear anything of what it did, and then I'll bounce it and look at the results.
I guess we'll never know where we could. I guess we'll never know where we could go. We're never really defined. Stand between you and I.
Okay, let's go ahead and bounce it. And yeah, it did move it over, as you can see. Okay, let's go to these parts that was bugging me here. So make that the guide. Here. Oh, where was I at? Let's do that again. Okay. Yeah, so I removed it. Let's try that one more time. Oh, wait a minute. Are you still on over here? No. Oh, yeah. Okay. That's why you weren't happy. Okay. What? It's not missing. Let's listen to that.
I only get the pieces of you, bits and pieces.
Yeah, it looked lined up to me. It did move it, so let's see. It did not move these S's at the end though. So what it'll do, I know I sometimes find with Vocalign I feel like I have to chop things up into smaller pieces, into bits and pieces, for it to kind of act right sometimes. So I'm good. It moved that part there, which is what I could hear. Let's do. Let's do these now and get these lined up. So first one will be our capture. Dub. Thought I could do all of these at the same time. There we go. Okay, and well, let's listen to it first.
Bits and pieces. Bits and pieces.
Okay, that sounds good to me. Let's select all of these and bounce them, and it should line all of this up. Okay. Okay, well, it did the first part. S's, that looks a little late, but let's take a listen, though.
Pieces of you. Bits and pieces.
Okay, I'm not mad at that. Just for the sake of time, I won't do the rest of them, or I may just copy them. Oh yeah, processing. So, yeah, I'm not hearing too much really needs to be done here. I do feel like it's a little loud, though. Where's my... Oh, it's turned up a dB. Let's bring that down to maybe -2 here. And what have we not used? We haven't used any... I don't think... we use One Waves plugin. Let's see. What I want to use here. Let this loop for a second while I think about that. Definitely going to compress this a little bit just to turn it down some, because I feel like it's just a little too far out in front.
Pieces of you. Bits and pieces. Guess we'll never know where we could go. We're never really defined. Stand between you and I only get the pieces of you. Bits and pieces. I only get the pieces of you. Bits and pieces. Get.
Okay, I'm going to use... I kind of want to use the RS124, which is a new compressor from... a newer compressor from Waves that I really like. It's from the Abbey Road collection. And I'm thinking, let me see what's going on in the low end real quick.
Pieces of you. Bits and pieces. Guess we'll never know where we could go. We're never really defined. Stand between you and I only get the pieces of you.
Okay, so yeah, let's grab that RS124. And let's get this dialed in. Let me check. We looked at the chat in a minute. Okay. Chris, glad you are enjoying it. You too, Sheila. Thanks. Certainly. And should you say... Yeah, Sheila, you say that R&B carries a good amount of reverb. I feel like kind of the old school R&B I felt did, and a lot of music from the UK is really reverb heavy. And I feel like I don't hear as much reverb in songs these days, not to where it's just overly apparent, but I mean someone like Lana Del Rey, like her music is really reverb heavy, but that's like her sound. That's what that's just part of her sound. Is much reverb on there. All right, let's dial in this compressor.
Pieces of you, bits and pieces. Guess we'll never know where we could go. We're never really defined. Stand between you and I only get the pieces of you, bits and pieces. I only get the pieces of you, bits and pieces. Guess we'll never know where we could go. We're never really defined. Stand between you and I only get the pieces of you, bits and pieces. I only get the pieces of you, bits and pieces. Guess we'll never know where we could go. We're never really defined. Stand between you and I only get the pieces of you, bits and pieces.
Okay, I'm good with that. I'm gonna take something else from the Abbey Rose collection here. It's one of my favorite. I only got the mono one up here. I don't really use it in stereo. Let's see. Let's see if it'll find it this way. No, I think I got it hidden. Yep, let's open this up and find it. I wonder if the search will find it now that I've opened it up. Let's see. Yep, there it is. Okay. Okay, so this is the RS56 from Waves, which is a passive EQ from the Abbey Rose, which is really nice at adding some high end. So I'm gonna add a little bit of high end here, and then hear what we got.
Pieces of you, bits and pieces. Guess we'll never know where we could go. We're never really defined. Stand between you and I only get the pieces of you, bits and pieces. I only get the pieces of you.
Okay, so I like how that's opening up the top end. Let's get some. We're gonna use the same verb on here. Oh, got these all across. Let's. Yeah, we can take these off and just add them here. Okay. Hook delay. Let's do. I've been having problems dialing this in since they changed it, but I'm going to try the analog delay and see if I can get what I want out of it here. 1/4. But let's test this reverb first.
Guess we'll where we could go. We're never really defined, stand between you and I.
All right, that's good. Let's see if I can get this analog delay dialed in. These have I tried the Untitled Chapter plugin? Haven't heard of that one. I haven't tried that. I haven't tried much of Eventide's stuff really. Let's see. Christopher, you say when I get to the guitar, I've already done well. The guitars you're hearing, I think, is in that melody track. I can't even remember what we used. Oh, we used CLA Mix Hub is what I used on it with a little bit of compression, and I think we boosted a little bit of 3K to add some presence on it. Analog delay would be great if it had dual delay. Yeah, it would. You know what? Now that you say that, let me find. This is a delay that Loop Cloud, that was free for Loop Cloud users. If you're a Loop Cloud user, you may still be able to get it for free. I'll leave this up, just bypass it for now. What's the name of it? Dub? Let me see. Hold on. Because that does have dual, it is a dual delay. Dub Station. Yeah, you can open this up to, where is it? No. Yeah, here, dual mode. So let's try to dial this one in. And yeah, before I forget, man, if any of y'all want me to mix one of your sessions live on here, I will. Just send it to me. I just ask that it's nothing like 40, 50 tracks, but I'll have my email and all that information in the show notes, as well as the plugins that I've used. In the description, in the video description at the end, if you want to send me a session to mix. Yep. The Dub Station. Yeah, I've been using this one a little bit since I was pleasantly surprised with it. I haven't heard of it before, but I don't install everything free that that's either sent to me or that's out there, because I don't know, sometimes I just feel like it's not worth it, especially the free ones that gets you that also installs like a ton of their other demo plugins and this stuff, and it's like, no, I did not want all of that. Let's try to dial this one in.
Guess we'll never know where we could go. We're never really defined, stand between you and I only get the pieces of you, bits and pieces. I only get the pieces of you, bits and pieces. Guess we'll never know where we could go. We're never really defined, stand between you and I only get the pieces of you, bits and pieces. I only get the pieces of you, bits and pieces. Guess we'll never know where we could go. We're never really defined, stand between you and I only get the pieces of you, bits and pieces. I only get the pieces of you, bits and pieces. Guess we'll never know where we.
All right, let me see what I can do with the analog delay, and we'll kind of compare here and see which one we'll keep.
Guess we'll never know where we could go. We're never really defined, stand between you and I only get the pieces of you, bits and pieces. I pieces of you. Bits and pieces. Guess we're identity. This ain't no way to love, and it's hurting me. Guess we'll never know where we could go. We're never really defined. The same between you and I only get the pieces of you.
Okay, I think I'm liking analog delay better on this. We'll remove dub station. Nick, you said you found related to going. Oh, that sucks. Yeah, hopefully they take care of that, because I do like what I've been able to get out of dub station. Shango, say you got a reggae session. Yeah, send it to me. I'm trying to do these more often. I know I took a while off. But really, my old iMac was getting to a point where I didn't think it was going to handle doing live. But I got a new iMac the end of last year, so yeah, I'm gonna try to do these more often. And I would really prefer to mix y'all sessions just because it's something I'm not familiar with. Where the stuff that I'm mixing that I tracked, I'm already familiar with it, so I've already mixed it, or I've already kind of know where I'm going with it anyway, because I'm so familiar with it. It's the only issue you found with it. Yeah, it does sound great. I was really I was really impressed with it. I don't know, delay plugins are things that I probably don't need a whole bunch of, but I'm always happy for another delay plugin, especially ones that have duckers built into them. Let's see where we are here. We may be good with this. Let me check out this outro and just make sure it's balanced with everything else here.
Bits and pieces. I only get the pieces of you. Bits and pieces. I get the bits and pieces of you. Bits and pieces of you. I get the pieces of you.
Okay, I think I'm good with that. I'm going to let's take it from the top and listen to everything all the way through, and see if I hear anything that's bugging me or really sticking out that we missed. Any questions? Go ahead and drop them in the chat while I'm playing this back, and I'll get to them. Buck, you say delays. Yeah, delays with the duckers over here. Yeah, they are, because it just stops another step of me having to set it up manually. So I think off the top of my head, I know Baby Audio Comeback Kit has a ducker built into it, and Plugin Alliance, I think like BX Delay 2500 has a ducker built into it. But even though I prefer the ducker to be built into the delay, sometimes I still do it manually just because I can control exactly what's going on with the ducker. You can create your own duck and delay. Yeah, I do. That's what I normally do, and I find that just the stock Studio One compressor, I've got a preset saved that I use for ducking, just so I can get to it quickly. What's funny is that I've tried to duck with other compressors, and just I can't get what I'm looking for out of them, and I end up I don't know, the Studio One compressor for ducking just works perfectly for me. I'm gonna go ahead and play this all the way through.
KadencePAT.
Sometimes you love me, then you don't. You stay would happen. Sure, then you have your doubts. Promising you always let me down. Now you think it's okay. You're never serious. You only play back and forth, then repeat. This ain't no way to love, and it's hurting. Guess we'll never know where we could go. We're never really defined. In between you and I only get the pieces of you. Bits and pieces. I only get the pieces of you. Bits and pieces. Guess we'll never know. I only get the pieces of you. Bits and pieces. Never forever, always short-lived, only consistent with just giving me a bit, serving small doses of your love to keep me stuck, starving without enough. Keep me at arm's length, never hold me close. Feels like a robbery. You take my love and you go. Pain is a pleasure I return to. Hustle away my heart, and I am the one to lose. Not ready for me. You just ain't tried to make it work, but okay, I've been a puppet. You control my strings, giving you all I got, and I don't get anything. Guess we'll never know where we could go. We're never really defined. In between you and I only get the pieces of you. Bits and pieces. I only get the pieces of you. Guess we'll never where we could go. We're never really defined. In between you and I only get the pieces of you. Bits and pieces. I only get the pieces of you. Bits and pieces. I get the bits and pieces of you. Bits and pieces of you. I get the pieces of you.
Okay, so yeah, I am good with all of that. Shank said loop coming up. Yeah, I caught it too late. I saw. Let's scroll up here. Thought I saw a question. I think I went too far. Shang, is that a flute at the end? It's not a flute. It's I think it's like a vocal sample. It's this. Yeah, I do see how you can kind of think that sounds like a flute. Sheila says Studio One has great stock plugins. Yeah, they do. I have to the fat channel, probably the Compressor, PreSonus. I mean, there's a good few of them that I use a lot. I wish the PreSonus had a Resonant Filter. And Nix, you can correct me if I'm wrong here. You may know, but one thing that really bugs me about the PreSonus, which I kind of find a workaround, which I find workarounds for everything, but I can go into this. Where is it? Yeah, 12th. Okay, so it gives me a piano here, but this still does not tell me the note value for a frequency. However, if I pull up the spectrum, this is my workaround. If I pull up the spectrum meter wherever I put my mouse, I can see what what frequency is for what note. So that's another thing that I wish the Pro EQ had. So I've been using I haven't been using the Pro EQ as much for just standard EQing. I've been using either the Weiss EQ MP, and it shows me what the frequency for notes are, or the Isotope, I think Neutron and Nectar EQ, and they have Resonant Filter on the high pass. Ozone does. The Softube does not. Is it Nectar, Neutron? Neutron. EQ. So yeah, the high pass filter here has a, where is high pass? Resonant, yeah. So I can do a resonant bump there with the Ozone EQ. So that's one I use for just standard EQing a lot. And Sheely say, do I master my own tracks? I do not. I can't stand mastering my own mixes. And I have a mastering engineer in Dallas that I work with that masters my mixes. And the reason I don't master my mixes is because what was driving me crazy is, let's say I spent 8 hours doing a mix. So I spent 8 hours doing this mix, making it sound the best that I feel that it can sound. Now you want me to put on another hat, a mastering hat, and try to make it sound even better after I feel I've already got it to sound as best it can be. So that part of it was driving me crazy, and I feel like that leads to a lot of overdoing stuff. So now my mixes I send to a mastering engineer in Dallas that masters my mixes. We have a relationship where I master what he mixes and he masters what I mix, and we've been doing that the last maybe 4 or 5 years now. And speaking of him, I'll go ahead and put it out there now. This is supposed to come out last year, but because of COVID, it didn't. But me and him are working on a project together where we're gonna release a project of. It's gonna be a compilation of songs that I recorded, I mixed, and he mastered, and I hope to have that out this year. One of the biggest problems with it is some of the artists would be coming in from out of town, will be coming here to Nashville from out of town to record, and I just haven't gauged the room on how everyone feels on traveling right now. So I'm gonna start with the artists here in Nashville that I'm gonna record for it, and then hopefully get the people from out of town to finish everything up. Let's see. Okay, you said maybe put a feature request into. Yeah, I need to do that. That was it's something they can very simply add in there, but it bugged me when I found that out, that I couldn't see when I couldn't see the frequency for the note in that. Let's go. Thinking the Ssl EQ would sound good on that part. Chris, we talked the that kind of guitar part, that melody part, the Ssl EQ, which I think I used the mix hub on it, which is a SSL. Unless you're talking about just the other standard waves, just the standalone SSL EQ. Sheely say, oh, did someone else answer that? Let's see it in there. Okay. Okay. Yeah, coming up on 2 hours here. If y'all got any more questions, you can go ahead and drop them in the chat. I will, as usual, I'm going to have the plugins that I used in the description of the video, as well as my contact info if y'all want to send me your sessions to mix. Also, got to give a plug to my podcast, the Faders Up podcast. It's a podcast, I label it as a podcast about pro audio and beyond. We talk about everything from recording to mixing to production to music business, all that type of stuff under that umbrella, and it's available on all platforms. Christopher, you say vocal putting the waves Ssl Eq mono, and then I don't have the Greg Wales vocal centric. You said the okay, yeah, you're talking about just the standalone Ssl EQ. I really don't use that really at all, because when I'm using I don't know, when I think of Ssl EQ, I just grab the whole channel strip, I guess. I assume you're talking about I think this is the one. Yeah, I think that's the one that you're referring to. Let me know. Yeah, I just don't. I've never used this as standalone. I just always grab the channel strip, and I honestly forget about this one. Sheila, you enjoyed it. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. Like I said, I'm gonna try to do these more often. I'm gonna try to. I want to do at least like once a month is my goal here. But yeah, to make that happen, yeah, y'all definitely send me some sessions, and I've got some. I probably got about maybe 4 sessions I've got in mind the week that I can certainly use for doing this. And I want to do one. I've got one that's just a 2-track that I think I'll do just to just show y'all mixing with a 2-track. One, of course, the limitations with it, but just how you'll have to. It's kind of the process that I use in taking a 2-track to get it to sound, the best that I can without having the stems. All right. So, Shango, good. Appreciate that. Yeah, Shango, send me that reggae session. I want to check it out. I did one, I think last year, that was kind of a dance hall rap one. That I recorded a long time ago. Gotcha. Okay, where you, Nick? Where you at? Oh, and Christopher, back to the like the Greg Wales ones. I don't have a lot of the signature series stuff. I don't know. They feel kind of gimmicky to me. The ones I do have, I think I probably either got for free or that Waves was giving away at one time or something. I do have the Greg Wales piano one because I saw that demonstrated somewhere and I really liked what it did, so I picked that up. I've got the Manny delay that I got because I wanted another delay plug-in. I think I have the Manny Tone Shaper EQ or something like that was given, but yeah, I really don't do a lot of the signature series stuff. Now I have the Puig stuff, the Fairchild, and the Pultec EQs, and but I don't have any other Greg Wales stuff. The Shep stuff. I have the Shep 73 and the Particles that I picked up free on the that Waves buy 2 get 2 free or buy 2 get 1 free. The Shep stuff is really cool. I feel like I'm missing one. No, I obviously have the CLA stuff. I have some of the CLA stuff, the Mix Hub, and of course the CLA compressors. I haven't fooled with that was it Mix Down and all that stuff there. You're in England. Okay, definitely thanks for tuning in from there. Let's see. Buck, you say the call satellite mixed in key plugin. It's used for collaboration. I have not heard of. I've heard of mixed in key. I've not heard of satellite. And I know as far as collaboration, who is it? Lander just recently came out with sessions. I've been curious to try that out just to see how well it works. Let me kind of switch back over here to me. Well, now it looks weird because I'm looking over at the other screen to read the comments. Let me pull the comments back in front of me. Okay. See autocorrect skill here. Yeah, Shep's Omni channel is killer. I use that a lot on when I'm editing podcasts. Um, but you can do so much with that Omni, and it has the even and odd harmonic saturation in there. That's a really good one. Nick, you say you try to jump on Johnny streams when I see. Man, I try to I know me and Johnny kind of do this on Sundays. I try to do mine early enough so where I'm not stepping on his toes. I think he goes on at like 6 p.m. or 7 p.m. my time, so I always try to get it. I always try to get mine in earlier. Sheps and Tonic. I'm not sure what Tonic is. I thought I saw another. Yeah, Buck. I'm gonna have to look up that satellite and see what that is and see if it's something that's similar to Lander sessions. Because Lander sessions, you're supposed to be able to, from my understanding, play. You could play your DAW back, and everything's in time with who you're chatting with on the other end. Or no, not like that. I think you can play. I think basically I can play my DAW from here, and you can hear it on your side. I believe is how it's supposed to work. Sheely say Johnny Lips ham on Sundays. Is that another autocorrect? Yeah, I didn't use as much Waves plugins as I guess planned to or expected to. But that's fine. Maybe we can get to them next time as well. Now, should you say Johnny G Monday through Friday? I haven't seen him go live before. I think I'm subscribed to his channel. I'll have to check his out sometimes too. Checking out Studio One viewpoint. Yeah, I definitely will. Hopefully I'm back home in time, which I should be. I gotta let me see. The Studio One thing is at 11 a.m. my time, and I've got a doctor's appointment at 10 a.m. But it's right up the street, so I should be back by. I should be back in time, but I'm definitely checking it out. I'm curious to see what is going to be added. Of course, I mean, it probably won't be in a point to update, but I definitely feel like it's time to add some stuff to the mix effects. Maybe another console or something else in there. I feel like it's time to get something else going with that. But yeah, I'm curious to see what they've came out with. I mean, the recent features that they've added have been honestly stuff I haven't cared about. Where I'm like, cool, but nah, I don't need it. Sheila, where am I? I'm in Nashville. Where are you at? Now, Buck, where you at too? You always checking in. But when they added the show page, which was almost a horrible time to add that since nobody's doing live stuff. But yeah, I don't do anything live, so I was like, it's a cool feature, but I don't care about it. And so I think, I mean, with it being a .2 release, I think it'll be some, I don't know, a couple features. I don't think anything crazy. Am I on Windows or Mac? I'm on a Mac. I got I got one of the, was it 2020 iMacs last year, right before they well, they haven't done the M1 Max yet, but I'm glad that I knew they were going to be switching over to the M1 really soon, so I got my iMac at a perfect time because I knew with the OS that it came with, everything was going to be supported. Milwaukee, okay, what's that, 4414, I think. I've not been to have I? No, I haven't been to Milwaukee before. Know a few people up there though. All right. I thank everybody for tuning in. Like I said, I'm going to have all the plugins I used in the description. Just give me a minute to get them loaded in there and get all the links in there for them. I have a link to my podcast in there as well if y'all want to check that out. All right. I thank everybody for tuning in. And like I said, I'll try to be back with another one of these. If not in a few weeks, definitely within a month. Like I said, certainly trying to be consistent. All right. I'll catch y'all next time.